Good evening everyone. Welcome to Shankar IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. Today's date is 6/3/2024. As you all aware that we are starting Pre-Fit 2024 Batch 3 on 11/3/2024. It has a total of 63 tests containing 37 half tests and 6 revision tests and 7 full portion with 10 CSAT and mock test of 3. It can be accessible both online and offline. Be first and fast to scan to register because the admission in progress. Behind me are the list of articles that we are about to discuss today. Without much delay, let's get started. Look at this article. Recently in Manipur, a rebel organization called Arambai Tengol Group abducted a police officer, vandalized his home and looted weapons from the police station. This incident questions the state's ability to enforce law and order. This article is written in this backdrop only. The article raises various concerns on the government's ability or inability to maintain law and order in Manipur. In this context, let us revise about Manipur issue. First, we must understand about the ethnic makeup of Manipur. Imagine Manipur is like a football stadium. The playing field in the middle of the stadium is the Impal Valley, while the surrounding galleries are the hilly areas. Look at the map. This Impal Valley is in the middle, is dominated by the Meitei people. These Meitei people are Hindus and they account for more than 64% of the population of the state, and hence they are the majority people. Kukis are mainly Christian community people who reside in the hilly areas surrounding this valley. Kukis comprise of about less than 30% of the population, but they occupy 90% of the land. Also, Kukis are included in the Scheduled Tribes (ST) list of the central government, but Meiteis are not included in this list. So the religious differences and the differences in the population to the landholding ratio have contributed to the long-standing clash between Meiteis and Kukis. Now we shall discuss about the reason for the ongoing conflict in Manipur. The first and the immediate reason for the ongoing clash is the demand for Meitei community people to include them in the scheduled tribe list. As we saw just now, Meiteis are not included in the ST list, but on the other hand, Kukis are included in the SC list and they are enjoying the reservation benefits. Several benefits given to the Kuki people in the name of ST status has triggered the Meitei people. So, Meiteis also demanded the center and the state governments to include them in the ST list. Both the governments did not take any significant steps. This is because the government felt that improving the status of Meiteis would undermine the Kuki community people. See, Meitei comprise of more than 50% of Manipur's population. So if they are included in the ST status, they will dominate the reservation policies, which in turn affect the representation of the Kuki people. So citing this reason, the government rejected the proposal of Meiteis. After that, the Meitei people approached the Manipur High Court. In April 2023, the Manipur High Court directed state government to consider the position of Meitei people. The court also asked the Manipur government to send a recommendation to the center regarding the demand of the Meitei community to be included in the ST list. This is the first and the immediate reason for the ongoing clash. Despite this immediate reason, there are also several other long-term reasons that have contributed to the clash recently. We will see them one by one. The important reason is the land. As we saw earlier, despite being a larger population, Meiteis hold only 10% of the land. But on the other hand, Kuki hold 90% of the land. Simultaneously, Meiteis who live in the valley are not allowed to settle or buy a land in the hilly area that are occupied by the Kukis. But the Kuki tribal people can buy a land in the valley occupied by Meiteis. See, these differences have contributed to the ongoing conflict. Another reason is the persecution of Chin people by the Meiteis. See, Chin people are the ethnic group native to the Myanmar. Some of the Chin groups have entered India, including the states of Manipur, through the borders at different times. The Chin people belong to the same ethnic group of Kukis. The Chin who are living in this valley of Manipur are continuously facing the violence and persecution from the Meitei people. This also angered Kukis and it is fueling the ongoing clashes. So, these are all the reason for the ongoing conflict between Meiteis and Kukis. Now let's see what can be done to ease this conflict in this area. In order to improve the region's human rights condition, the controversial Armed Forces Special Powers Act of 1958 must be repealed. There is a need to increase the level of monitoring in the border regions to stop the influx of migrants from Myanmar. The criteria for ST status to Meiteis should be examined thoroughly based on the reports of the committees like Zaza Committee, Lokur Committee and Buria Committee of 2004, etc. That brings us to the end of this article. Let's move on to the next. Look at this news article. The Calcutta High Court transferred the case on the attack on the Enforcement Directorate officials in Sandesh Kali, West Bengal, to the CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation. This is the crux of the article. In this discussion, let us learn about the CBI. The Central Bureau of Investigation is one of the national investigative agencies in India. It was set up in 1963 based on the recommendations of the Sandhanam Committee on Prevention of Corruption. The CBI was created by the resolution of the Ministry of Home Affairs. Initially, the CBI functioned under the same Home Ministry. However, the CBI was later transferred to the Ministry of Personnel, Pension and Public Grievances. So as of now, CBI is an attached office under Union Ministry of Personnel, Pension and Public Grievances. However, while investigating offences under the Prevention of Corruption Act, the superintendence of CBI rests with the Central Vigilance Commission. Here, note that the CBI derives its power from Delhi Special Police Establishment Act 1946. Remember, the CBI only derives its power from this act and it's not the body created under such an act. So, the CBI is not a statutory body. Now, we shall see the composition of CBI. The CBI is headed by a director. He is assisted by an additional director. The director of CBI is responsible for the administration of the organization. Note that the director of CBI has been provided with the security of tenure for 2 years by the CVC Act. Now, let's understand the appointment of CBI director in brief. The CBI director is appointed by the central government based on the recommendations of a selection committee. The selection committee consists of Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha and Chief Justice of India or Supreme Court Judge. Note that in 2014, the government made amendments to the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act. So, according to this amendment, when there is no recognized leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, then the leader of the single largest opposition party in the Lok Sabha would be a part of this selection committee. So now, let's dwell deep to understand the functions of CBI. The CBI plays an important role in the prevention of corruption and maintaining the integrity in the government administration. It also provides assistance to the Central Vigilance Commission and Lokpal. The other functions of CBI are displayed here. You can go through it. With this, let's move on to our next discussion. Look at this article. The Ministry of Ayush, that is Ayurveda, Yoga and Neuropathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy, in collaboration with Indian Council of Medical Research (ICMR), is set to conduct a double-blind trial. It aimed at evaluating the effectiveness of Ayush drugs in treating anemia among non-pregnant women of reproductive age. This research marks a significant step towards integrating traditional Ayush treatments with evidence-based scientific research. This is the crux of this article. Now we shall understand its importance with our mains answer writing approach. First, let me read out the question. Integration of traditional Indian system of medicines with modern medical practices is essential for enhancing healthcare accessibility and affordability. Discuss. This topic comes under the syllabus of GS Paper 2. Here the keyword is discuss. So we can split the answer into two parts. First, answer how it enhances accessibility and affordability. Second, what are the steps taken by Government of India, and conclude with a way forward. So let's start answering. Your introduction can go like this. Recently, Ministry of Ayush in collaboration with ICMR has planned to do a trial of Ayush drugs in treating anemia. Also, the usage of Ayurvedic medication in India is expected to be increased by 50% over the next 5 years. This can be your introduction. Now moving on to the body part of the answer. Give the points to enhance the accessibility and affordability. Give points to support how this can enhance the accessibility and affordability. Regarding accessibility, firstly, it provides comprehensive care. Traditional systems like Ayurveda, Yoga, Neuropathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy, that is Ayush, emphasize treating the whole person, that is mind, body and spirit, not just the symptoms. Integrating these with the modern medicine can lead to a more personalized and comprehensive care, making the healthcare more accessible to those seeking alternative or complementary treatment modalities. Secondly, with the significant presence and the increasing demand for Ayush in India, integrating these practices can cater to a broader segment of the population. This is particularly relevant in rural or underserved areas where the traditional medicine may be more readily available or culturally accepted. Thirdly, initiatives such as the creation of Ministry of Ayush and partnership with institutions like ICMR for conducting clinical trials signify a governmental push towards integrating traditional and modern systems. Such initiatives can help in making integrated healthcare services more accessible to the general population. Similarly, regarding affordability, firstly, it provides cost-effective treatments. Many traditional practices are less expensive compared to the modern medical treatments. Yoga and certain herbal medicines, for instance, require minimal resources. making them accessible and affordable healthcare options. This can be particularly beneficial in the country like India, where out-of-pocket expenditure for healthcare system are very high. Secondly, it provides preventive care. The emphasis on the prevention in traditional medicine through a balanced lifestyle, diet, and regular exercise can lead to a reduction in the incidence of chronic diseases, thereby reducing the overall healthcare cost for individual and the system. Thirdly, it provides complementary therapies. By using traditional practices as adjunctive therapies, there is a potential to enhance the effectiveness of modern medical treatments, possibly reducing the duration and the cost of the treatment. With this, we can mention some of the steps taken by the government in this regard. Firstly, the government has made a separate ministry called Ministry of Ayush. Its job is to generate awareness and to do research on traditional medicines like Ayurveda and Yoga, making sure they can work together with the modern medical practices. Also, Ayush Ministry joined hands with ICMR, which is a big research organization, to do special tests on humans. They want to see how well Ayurveda and modern medicine can work together to treat important health problems. Similarly, AIIMS, a very famous medical institute, have been studying how yoga and other traditional methods can help with different health issues. Inside AIIMS, there is a special place called CIMR. It is first of its kind in India, focused on doing scientific research on yoga. CIMR works on making the rules for how to mix traditional and modern medical treatments. Finally, mention about One Nation, One Health System policy. Here the government has a big plan to mix traditional medical practices with regular healthcare by the year 2030. This policy aims to create a healthcare system where all types of medicine work together. That's all about the body part. Now we can conclude with the following aspects. The integration of traditional and modern medical system presents a promising future for healthcare in India. By embracing both, India can offer a more holistic, accessible and personalized care to its population. With the ongoing government support and scientific validation, this integrated approach holds a potential to revolutionize health and wellness across the nation. That's all about the answer. Now let's move on to our next discussion. Look at this news article. Government notified the amended FDI norms in the space sector, clearing the deck for 100% overseas investment. This amended policy provides 74% in satellite manufacturing and operation and 49% in launch vehicles. This is the crux of the article. In our discussion, let us understand about some basic and important facts about FDI norms in India. So what do you mean by FDI? Technically, FDI is a class of investment made by a person or a firm who is a resident outside India in the capital investment of a company, that is an Indian company. See, there are investments made with an intention of establishing a lasting interest. Note that the lasting interest differentiates FDI from foreign portfolio investment, that is FPI, where the investor passively holds securities from a foreign country. Now let's see the basic characteristics of FDI. See, FDI are the class of investments which are done in an unlisted Indian company or 10% or more in an equity capital of a listed Indian company. Note an important exception that an investor may be allowed to invest below 10% level and still it can be treated as an FDI. These statements sounds contradictory, right? The rationale is these FDI stake should be raised to 10% or beyond within 1 year from the date of purchase. On the contrary, if the stake is not raised to a 10% or above, then the investment shall be treated as a portfolio investment. Moreover, in a case an existing FDI falls to a level below 10%, it can continue to be treated as FDI. Remember this saying, once an FDI, always an FDI. Moreover, note that there are two routes of FDI, that is automatic route and a government route. Firstly, with respect to the automatic route, no prior permission is needed for the investment, thereby resulting in a minimal monitoring. Under this route, the investor just needs to inform RBI after the investment has been made. Note that in India, FDI up to 100% is permitted for agriculture, manufacturing, airport, e-commerce, pharmaceuticals and railway infrastructure through this route. Secondly, with respect to the government route, prior to the investment, approval from the Government of India is required. Note that it is permitted in sectors like defense and telecom beyond 49%, mining 100% and in print media beyond 26%. Before concluding, we shall also see about some additional features which are relevant to the preliminary examination. See, FDI generally happens through a primary market. Unlike FPI, they are sector specific in nature. As we all know, FDI is a long-term investment. To achieve this, there is a lock-in period, and during this period, the foreign investor cannot sell his investment. Moreover, this makes FDI quite stable. Lastly, FDI can happen in three ways. That is, by purchasing the shares, or by forming a joint venture company, or by establishing a subsidiary company. That's all about FDI for today. Let's jump on to our next article. Look at this Business Standard article. It talks about AI tool which significantly increased the case detection rates of tuberculosis in India. So let's break down this article. Firstly, what is this tool? See, it is an AI based tool called QXR, and it was implemented by a Mumbai based startup named Quarry.ai in collaboration with India Health Fund IHF for TB screening in India since February 2020. This technology has screened over 120,000 individuals and addressed the shortage of radiologists in remote areas by using the algorithm to automatically interrupt chest X-rays for TB detection. This innovation allows for immediate diagnosis, reducing the waiting time for results and minimizing the loss of follow-up cases. Notably, World Health Organization, that is WHO, referenced QXR in its March 2021 TB screening guidelines, underscoring its global relevance and potential. With this, let's understand about TB in India and India's approach to eliminating this disease. Firstly, how it is caused and what are its symptoms. TB is caused by a bacterium called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. A person can unknowingly acquire these bacteria and have it lie dormant, a condition known as inactive tuberculosis. Active tuberculosis begins when a bacterium starts developing and the signs and symptoms begin to be visible. Although TB bacteria can infect any organ, example kidney, lymph nodes, bones, joints, etc. in the body. The disease commonly occurs in the lungs. Around 80% of all the TB cases are related to pulmonary or lung. Common symptoms include coughing that lasts longer than 3 weeks, fatigue, fever, night sweats, chills, chest pain, shortness of breath, and loss of appetite. Moving forward, let's now discuss India's TB status. For India, TB is one of the major public health problems. According to World Health Organization estimates, India has the world's largest tuberculosis epidemic. In 2020, India accounted for 26% of the incident TB cases across the globe. India has incidence rate of 192 cases per 1 lakh population. But what makes this problem even worse is the recent discovery of total drug-resistant tuberculosis, TDR-TB. This issue of drug resistance began with MDR-TB, moved to XDR-TB, and as of 2021 has grown to embrace the most dangerous form of TDR-TB. In 2020, the Indian government made efforts to eliminate tuberculosis from the country by 2025 through its National TB Elimination Program. Interventions in this program include major investment in healthcare, providing supplemental nutritional credit through Nikshay Portal Abhiyan, organizing a national epidemiological survey for tuberculosis, etc. Similarly, the Pradhan Mantri TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan has received a tremendous response across the country with over 1 lakh Nikshay Mitras from all the walks of life coming forward to adopt over 11 lakh TB patients. Under Nikshay Poshan Yojana, about rupees 2,613 crore have been distributed to over 95 lakh TB patients since 2018. Recently, WHO has released the Global Tuberculosis Report 2023, highlighting the high burden of TB worldwide in 2022. Here, India reported a case fatality ratio of 12%, indicating that 12% of TB cases in the country resulting in death. The report also estimates that 3,42,000 TB-related deaths occurred in India in 2022. With 3,31,000 among HIV-negative individuals and 11,000 among those with HIV. Moreover, India recorded 1.1 lakh cases of multi-drug resistant TB, that is MDR-TB in 2022, highlighting the continued challenge of MDR-TB as a public health crisis. Hence, WHO stated that there is a need for urgent action to end the global TB epidemic by 2030, a goal that has been accepted by all the members of United Nations and WHO. That's all about this article. Let's move to the next. Look at this article. A naval detachment, INS Jatayu, will be commissioned at Minikoy Sea. See, this marks an important milestone in the Indian Navy's resolve to incrementally augment security infrastructure at the strategic Lakshadweep Islands. With this backdrop, let us now cover the geographical aspect, ethnic makeup of Lakshadweep Island in brief. Firstly, let us see about Lakshadweep Islands. Lakshadweep is a tropical archipelago of 36 atolls and coral reefs in the Lakshadweep Sea, which is around 280 km to 480 km off the coast of Kerala. Out of those, 11 are inhabited. The official as well as the widely spoken native language in Lakshadweep is Malayalam. Moreover, fishing is the most important industry in the island. Kavaratti serves as a capital and also it is the only district of the Union Territory. This region comes under the jurisdiction of Kerala High Court. Lastly, the principal languages of Lakshadweep are Malayalam, Jesseri, Dweep Bhasha and Mal. There are three main groups of islands forming Lakshadweep. They are Amendivi Islands, Lakshadweep Islands, Minicoy Islands. While Amendivi Island are the northernmost and the Minicoy is the southernmost island. Note that all the tiny islands of the coral origin atoll which are surrounded by the fringing reefs. Now let us discuss about INS Jatayu from the prelims perspective. INS Jatayu is the second naval base in Lakshadweep after INS Dweep Prashak in Kavaratti. It is situated midst of vital sea line of communication, which has immense strategic importance, serving a gateway to the Indian Ocean. See, with the commissioning of INS Jatayu, the Indian Navy will strengthen its foothold in the Lakshadweep Islands. Note that this can be used for extending operational surveillance, reach and sustenance. Moreover, the airfield will allow operations for a wide range of aircrafts including P-81, maritime reconnaissance aircraft and fighter jets, etc. Thus, it will be a major base for India in the context of changing geopolitical dynamics, particularly with the rise of Chinese influence in the Indian Ocean region. That's all about today's discussion. Let's now move on to the prelims practice question for the day. Consider the following statements regarding CBI. It is functioning under Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. It is a statutory body coming under Delhi Special Police Establishment Act of 1946. The director of CBI is provided with the security of tenure for 2 years. Which among the statements given above are correct? Option A, 1 only. Option B, only 2. And option C, all the 3. And option D, none. And the correct answer is option A, only 1. Because the statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. Because the CBI is functioning under Ministry of Personnel, Pension and Public Grievances and CBI derives only its power from Delhi Special Police Establishment Act of 1946 and it is not a statutory body. The QXR sometimes seen in the news is related to which of the following? Option A, a quantum based computing algorithm. Option B, AI based tool for tuberculosis screening. Option C, satellite launched by India for Earth observation. Option D, a cryptocurrency developed for healthcare transactions. And the correct answer is option B, AI-based tool for tuberculosis screening. Which one of the following pairs of island is separated from each other by 8-degree channel? Option A, Andaman and Nicobar. Option B, Nicobar and Sumatra. Option C, Maldives and Minicoy. And option D, Sumatra and Java. The correct answer is option C, Maldives and Minicoy. Consider the following. Statement 1. Foreign currency convertible bonds. Statement 2. Foreign institutional investment with certain conditions. Statement 3. Global depository receipts. Statement 4. Non-resident external deposits. Which of the above can be included in FDI? Foreign direct investments. Option A, 1, 2 and 3. Option B, 3 only. Option C, 2 and 4. And option D, 1 and 4. And the correct answer is option A, 1, 2 and 3. Behind me is today's mains practice question. Interested aspirants can write it in the comments section below. If you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.